Hey friends! A couple years ago, I made a complete beginner's guide to Cash App, and I figured 2 years later, it's about time to make an update since the app's changed a little bit. Also, at the end of this video, I'm gonna answer the most common beginner questions I've been asked about Cash App, so stick around to the end of the video to get those answers. The first thing you need to do is set up the app. So you're gonna download Cash App from your app store. Then it'll ask you to enter either your mobile phone number or your email. You only have to enter one of them, you don't have to enter both, but whatever you enter is going to be associated with your Cash App for people to send you money. Then it's going to send you a security code to that email or phone number to enter into the app. Next, it's going to ask if you want to link a debit card. You can skip this step, but I'll warn you, if you do, it's going to remind you every single time you use the app to enter a debit card. And it is easier to use the app if you have a debit card connected to it. Then it's going to ask you for your first and last name. Be very careful that you use your full legal government name here. It is important that this name matches your state ID. Next, it's gonna ask for your birthday. If you are ages 13 to 17, you are gonna have to have an adult sponsor your account. But do not lie about your birth date. It's much better to get a sponsor than have your account shut down because you put in the wrong information. Then you're gonna create a cash tag. That's your unique name that people can use to find you in the app. You might have to try a couple to find one that's not being used. Then you're gonna need to enter your zip code and create a Cash App PIN. Then it's gonna ask you if you want to order a Cash App card. You can do this now or do it later. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Then it's gonna ask if you wanna sync with your phone contacts. You can skip this if you want, but it is kind of handy to have your friends' contacts inside Cash App. All right, so now let's get into the most common things that you're gonna wanna do. The first thing is probably sending money. In order to send someone money, you do not have to have any money at all in your Cash App. If you've linked a debit card, you can pull money straight from your bank account and send it through Cash App. So to get started sending money, you're gonna go to that middle tab, so you click on the $sign in the middle. Then you're gonna enter how much money you wanna send and click pay. And here you can search for the person you wanna send it to. You can search by their name, their cash tag, their phone, or their email. And then you can write a note here about what it's for. And up here, you can choose, do you wanna send it from your Cash App balance if you have money in there, or you can send it from a debit card. When everything's set, you just hit pay. The next thing you might want to do is request money from someone else. You're going to start off on the same screen, clicking on the $sign in the middle, and then put in the amount you want to request, then click the button that says request, and then you're going to find the person same way. You can look by their phone number, their email, or their cash tag, then click the button that says request. Another easier way to do this, if you're in person with the person you want to send money to or request, is you can use the scanner. So on this page, it's in the upper left corner. Click that. So if you want to send money to the other person, ask them to bring up their code. You're going to use the scanner and scan their code. Or if they're going to send money to you, click the button right here that says my code. And this is what someone else would scan to send money to you. So if somebody sends money to you, it's going to show up in your Cash App balance. So to see how much is in your account, you can look at that first tab. If you have nothing in your account, it has a little bank symbol, and if you have money in it, it'll give you the amount. So click on that first tab to see how much is there. So if you have money in your Cash App account and you want to get it out to a bank account, you're going to use the withdraw feature. But before you use withdraw, I would check and see if you have a bank account attached. So click on your profile where your picture is, and then scroll down to linked banks. And here you can have a debit card, a bank account, and a credit card. Credit cards are only used for sending money to others, and there is a fee every time you use them. If you want to withdraw money for free, you do need to have a bank account attached, not just a debit card. So you can do that right here. Once your bank accounts are set up, you want to go back to that first tab and click withdraw. And then it'll ask you how much. So set the amount and then click withdraw. And it'll ask you, do you want to do standard or instant? Standard will go to your bank account that you set up, and instant will go to your debit card. Standard is free and instant has a fee. And you'll see it's going to charge me 25 cents if I want to send $10 to my debit card. So I'm going to click standard, and then it'll show up in my bank account in a few days. Now the next thing you might want to do is spend the money in your Cash App. What if you wanted to use that out at stores? Well, if you want to spend the money, you should get a cash card, which is a debit card that goes with your Cash App. And that would be in the second tab. And if you don't have a Cash App card, it'll ask you right here if you want to get one. And then they'll send you a physical card in the mail that you can use to spend money. You can use it at stores, restaurants, online, just like any other debit card. The cash card is free to get and it's free to use. There are no monthly fees to use it. You can also use the cash card to withdraw money from ATMs, but there is a fee for withdrawing from ATMs. When you're using the cash card, you can only spend money that's already in your cash Cash App. Whatever that balance is on the first tab, that's how much you can spend. If you try to spend more than that, it'll just be declined. So if you want to spend money with your Cash Card, you might want to add money to your Cash App. If you've connected a debit card to your account, then you can just click the Add Money button, and then it'll ask you how much, and you click Add, and it instantly adds money to your account. Now remember, you don't have to add money to Cash App to be able to send money to other people. If you have a debit card attached, you can just pull it straight from your debit card. But if you want to spend money on your Cash Card, you have to have the money in there already. Another way that you can add money to your Cash App balance is adding paper cash money at a store. And you would be on that first page and scroll down, and you'll see it right here, deposit paper money. I have a separate video about how that works. I'll link that right here for you. So those are the functions that most new users want to use. Let me go through some of the common questions. One question I got a lot is, where is Cash App available? It is only available to people in the US and the UK. The Cash Card can be used to spend money in most countries around the world, but to get a cash account, you have to be from the US or the UK. And then I got a lot of questions about Social Security numbers. You do have to enter your Social Security number to use a lot of the functions of the account. If you want to do things like send or receive more than $1,500 total in the lifetime, you have to verify. If you want to get a Cash App card, you also need to verify your account to do that. So most people are going to need to enter their Social Security number to fully use Cash App. I've also gotten a lot of questions about tax forms. There is a new tax law in the US that you get a 1099-K if you're sending a lot of money back and forth to people. But for Cash App, that only applies if you have a business account, not a personal account. So the kind of accounts I'm talking about are personal accounts, and they are only supposed to be used for sending money back and forth with friends and family. They're not supposed to be used for business, and you will not get a tax form for a personal account. Another question people asked is, do you need a bank account to use Cash App? And no, you don't. And some people do use Cash App sort of in place of a bank account, but I would encourage, if you don't have one, to try to get a regular bank account, because Cash App is not everything a bank is. It can be a really useful tool, but I don't recommend keeping a lot of money in there. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to try to help. Leave them in the comments and I might include them in a future video. Next up, watch my video about how to deposit paper cash using Cash App. I'm going to leave the link right here for you.